Our opponent will be the first match of the gold bracket. We will be taking on Wilson High School. They were the runner-up in the pool that was playing next to us in the middle school gym. Alexandria won their pool, and they will be playing the runner-up in our pool, which was Lawrence County. From here out, the winner stays and the loser. A lot of connection from my phone. So hopefully the video's okay and the audio will be okay. We will see. I think if we beat Wilson, we'll probably be playing Alexandria High School, which Alexandria is the returning or defending 5A state champion. We'd like to kind of see how we match up them and hope we might again. Wilson now taking their warm-ups. The mobile hotspot. That's kind of, unless anybody would like to donate one to the St. James Volleyball program. Wilson completes their warm-ups. The teams will be meeting at the net and we'll get this thing going. Wilson High School, another perennial volleyball power in North Alabama. You see them almost every year in the state tournament. We've played them before, and they're a very, very good team. We hadn't played them before this year. I mean, we haven't played them this year, but St. James has historically played them in the state tournament before. We have played them in tournaments also. Very tough team, always well coached. Get this thing going after the lineups check. And the noise level just goes up. We're about to get it on, folks. See if I can adjust the screen a little bit to give you a little better angle. That's all four corners of our court. St. James will be in the near court in the white jerseys. Wilson will be in the far court in the dark gray and blue jerseys. Referees checking lineups. Right now checking St. James's lineup. St. James starts with Emily Olsey, Carson Ann Crow, Kathleen Wright, Bailey Williams, Lizanne Livings, and Emily Poundstone. Looks like St. James will be starting the set off, his first set off with serve, as Emily Poundstone goes back to serve for the Trojans. Get this thing started. Nice serve. Left. That's a nice play. Olsey and Wright team up for the point. Score 1-0 St. James. Poundstone serving for the Trojans. Oh, she rolled it over the net for an ace. St. James up now 2-0 over Wilson. Don't take anything off of it. St. James now leading Wilson 2-0. Nice floater serve. Oh, ball hit St. James court. Point for Wilson. St. James leads 2-1. Wilson serving into St. James. Service error by Wilson. Point to St. James. We'll take all the generosity we can get. Lizanne Livings, number 15, goes back to serve for St. James. St. James now leading 3-1. Get over ball. Nice floater serve. Play by Wilson. Bailey Williams to Poundstone. Poundstone over to Carson Ann Crow. Kill for Carson Ann Crow off the block. Poundstone to Crow. It's been working all day. St. James now leads 4-1. Living still serving for St. James. Nice hard serve to the back row. That's an ace. Ace for Livings. Score increases now. St. James increases their lead to 5-1 over Wilson. Livings pounds the ball back to the back left. Ooh! Wilson attacker hits the ball off Lizanne Livings. She can't get her hands up in time. Ball might have hit her in the face. She's okay, she's tough. Score now, St. James 5, Wilson 2. Ball comes into Bailey Williams. Played up by Emily Poundstone over to Olsey. That's got to be 5 hits. Poundstone back over to Kathleen Wright. Kathleen Wright hits it off the back row player for a kill. Kathleen Wright with her first kill of the match. St. James increases her lead 6-2 over Wilson. Alan Browning, number 8, back serving for the Trojans. Floats it back to the middle of the Wilson defense. Back set. Blocked by Carson Ann Crow and Olsey. Point for St. James. St. James leads now 7-2. Alan Browning back serving for St. James. Floats it over to the middle of the Wilson defense. Sets it across court. Hits the ball long. Wilson's attacker is long. Point for St. James. We've been doing that enough today, so maybe we'll let them do it. Score now, St. James 8, Wilson 2. Browning floats another one over short. Nice free ball. Wilson played by Browning to Poundstone. Poundstone to Olsey. Oh, that's nasty. Olsey with a powerful kill. Point for St. James. She reared back and let it have it. Browning still serving for St. James. St. James up 9-2. Nice serve. Oh, that's out. That's an ace for Browning. St. James up now 10-2 over Wilson. Like a changeup. The ball just got over the net and just died. Ball stops with another ball on the court. Up ref signals the ball in. Floater serve by Browning. Back set. Oh, it's blocked again by Carson Ann Crow. Poundstone back sets to Bailey Williams. Nice kill. Bailey Williams rolls it down the net for a kill. Very well played by St. James. St. St. James in a rhythm right now. Oh. Timeout. We got Poundstone tying her shoe. Up ref signals the ball in as Browning serves for St. James. Floater serve to the back. Wilson sets up their offense. They tips over. They tipped it over the block. Big 55 tipped it over our blockers for Wilson's third point. St. James still leads Wilson 11-3. Floater serve played by Lizanne Livings to Poundstone. Carson and Crow in the middle. That's a kill for Crow. Poundstone to Crow, another point for St. James. Now leads Wilson 12-3. Emily Olsey, number 16, back serving for St. James now. Nice hard serve right into the chest of the defender. Blocked at the net. Bailey Williams blocks. Ashley White gets it up. Alan Browning saves the ball. Oh, that's a kill by Carson Ann Crow on the left. She ran it down the line. Nice play, point St. James. It now leads 13-3. Olsey continues serve for St. James. She served that ball right into the chest of the Wilson defender in the back left. She's at her again. Nice serve by Olsey. Roll ball played by Livings to Olsey. Olsey to Carson Ann Crow. She almost hit the girl in the face. Kill by Carson Ann Crow. Nice set by Olsey. Point for St. James. It now leads Wilson 14-3. Olsey serving. Nice hard serve. Ball's gotten up by Wilson. The big girl, she intimidated. She tried to roll it and hit it into the net. Point for St. James. St. James had blockers there. St. James now leads 15-3. Olsey still on a roll. Nice floater serve to the back middle of Wilson defense. Another roll serve played up by Olsey. Browning over to Carson Ann Crow. Crow with an attack. Roll ball by Wilson to Lizanne Livings to Olsey. Back to Ashley White. It's a nice attack. Wilson gets the ball over, rolls it again to Lizanne Livings. Set by Olsey. Carson Ann Crow with an attack on the left side. Roll played by Carson Ann Crow to Olsey. Back to Crow. She rolls it to the middle. That's a kill. Carson Ann Crow rolled her own ball over to the middle of the Wilson defense for a St. James point. St. James leads now 16-3 with Olsey still serving. Put a little heat on it. Same to that back left defender. Ball played by Bailey Williams. Set by Olsey over to Ashley White. Nice attack. Ball's gotten up by Wilson. They roll the ball again. Played by Carson Ann Crow. Over to Olsey. Back to Ashley White. Nice attack. Gotten up by Wilson. Back set to Wilson. Blocked by Carson Ann Crow. Lizanne Livings comes in, gets the ball. She's trying to set the ball. Double hit. They call a double hit by St. James, but I think Emily Olsey was trying to set the ball. It was interfered by over the net. Anyway, St. James still leads Wilson 16-4. Wilson serving to St. James. Played by Carson Ann Crow over to Emily Olsey. Back to Crow. Tips it over the block. Net violation on Wilson gives St. James a point. Their blockers got into the net. Side out to St. James with Carson Ann Crow serving with the score. St. James 17, Wilson 4. Nice floater serve to the left. Ball played by Wilson. They roll the ball over. Played by Carson Ann Crow to Emily Olsey. Bailey Williams rolls it over. That's a kill. I'm gonna get it. That's a kill by Bailey Williams. Heads up play by Williams. The ball was over the net. She hit it. 3 defenders couldn't get it back up. Score now, St. James 18, Wilson 4. St. James, Carson Ann Crow serving to Wilson. Her to the middle of the back row. Another roll ball played up by Carson Ann Crow. Emily Olsey over to Ashley White. That's a kill by Ashley White on the right side. Cross court kill. Ashley White putting a little heat on it and had barely got a hand on it. Point for St. James. It now leads Wilson 19-4. Carson Ann Crow still serving for St. James. Nice serve back in the back right, cross court. Oh, that's a block by Bailey Williams. Ball's out. Point for St. James. Nice block by Bailey Williams. St. James now leads Wilson 20-4. Carson Ann Crow still serving for St. James. Little short floater serve. Wilson gets it up. They roll the ball over, played by Emily Olsey. Bailey Williams tips the ball over the net. St. James regroups. Oh, Alan Browning digs the ball up. Emily Olsey sets it up for Liz Ann Livens on the left side. Ball's out. We wanted a touch, but there's no touch. That ball's out. Point for Wilson. St. James now leads Wilson 20-5. Ball serve. Oh, that ball's in. Alan Browning thought the ball was out, but the ball touched the back line, just inside the back line for a point for Wilson. St. James now leads Wilson 20-6. Wilson serving over the net. The ball, misplayed by St. James. Serve receive. Point goes to Wilson. St. James now 20-7 over Wilson. It's serving to St. James. Short serve played up by Alan Browning beautifully to Emily Olsey. Bailey Williams with an attack on the right side, bangs it through the block. Bailey Williams' third kill. Very well played. Point to St. James. It now leads. We get a side out there. St. James now leads Wilson 21-7. Bailey Williams serving for St. James. Floater serve back to the back left. That's an ace. Off her hands. Ace for Williams. Very well placed serve. St. James now up 22-7 over Wilson. Number 14, Bailey Williams, still serving for St. James. Nice little floater serve. Roll shot for Wilson. Hit up by Liz Ann Livings to Olsey. Oh, that ball's in. That ball's in the back corner. Nice kill by Liz Ann Livings on a set from Emily Olsey. That's her first kill. Breaks the score 23-7. Bailey Williams serving for St. James. A nice hard serve in the back right. Free ball for St. James, played by Bailey Williams to Emily Olsey. Over to Liz Ann Livings. That's a kill. Liz Ann Livings, second kill. Nicely played. Point for St. James. This is set point. 24-7. Ashley White comes back in the game to set for Emily Poundstone. Bailey Williams serving for the set. Short floater serve. Oh, attack error by Wilson gives St. James the 25th point. That's the one we were looking for. St. James wins the first set over Wilson 25-7. St. James still not in a rhythm, but he says when they're playing good. 25-7 is our final score, the first set. Brief intermission between sets. Stretch my old legs. Looking across the court, the first set on the other match. Looking across the other court, the match between Lawrence County and Alexandria. Lawrence County's up 15-12. I'm sure they would like another shot at us. Oh, they don't make comfortable bleachers. St. James prepares to start the second set against Wilson. St. James goes with Kathleen Wright, Emily Olsey, Liz Ann Livings, Carson Ann Crow, Bailey Williams, and Ashley White. Down ref is checking the lineups for both. Had a attack error on St. James. Wilson now up to 0 on St. James. Bailey Williams takes the serve. Ashley White with an attack on the right side. We got a free ball played by Bailey Williams over to Olsey. Ashley White with a kill on the right side. St. James now down 2-1. Wilson with the lead, 2-1 over St. James. Emily Poundstone comes in to serve for St. James. Nice floater serve back on the back, right. Oh, they try to tip it over. Kathleen Wright with an attack. That's a kill. That's her second kill. Kathleen Wright evens the game. Evens the score at 2. St. James 2, Wilson 2. Poundstone serving for St. James. Nice floater serve back to the back right. Oh, Wilson sets it up, blocked by Olsey right. That's a point for St. James. Emily Olsey and Kathleen Wright building the wall over there on the right side. The Wilson defenders couldn't get it back over. St. James takes the lead, 3-2. Poundstone serves back to the middle of the back row. Tipped over, up by Kathleen Wright to Poundstone. Poundstone to Liz Ann Livings. Ball in, up ref calls it in. Ball in for St. James. Liz Ann Livings with her third kill. St. James now leading Wilson 4-2. Poundstone still serving. Nice serve. Roll play, played by Carson Ann Crow. The Poundstone to Olsey. Ball gotten up. Nice play by the Wilson middle, number 55. Point to Wilson. She can hammer the ball too. You leave it over the net, it's like a birthday present, just waiting to get unwrapped. Wilson now trailing St. James 4-3. Serving to St. James in the near court. Nice short serve played by Kathleen Wright. Poundstone tipped over by Livings. Carson Ann Crow gets it to Poundstone. Poundstone back to Olsey. Bangs it into 55. Nice kill by Olsey. Hit it right into the teeth of the block. Down on the Wilson side to give St. James a 5-3 lead. Liz Ann Livings going back to serve for St. James. Nice serve back to back of the Wilson defense. They set up roll shot played by Liz Ann Livings to Emily Poundstone. Back over to Carson Ann Crow. She hit it right between the block, but Wilson got it up. Oh, they dug it up. Oh. Nice play by 55 on Wilson's side. Point for Wilson. St. James holds on to a 1-point lead over Wilson, 5-4. Wilson serving into St. James. Ball played by Liz Ann Livings to Bailey Williams. Free ball by Carson Ann Crow across the net. St. James sets up the defense. 55 bangs it into our block and on the court to even the score. Point for Wilson. That evens the score 5-5. Big number 55 can hammer it. Ball comes over, played by Liz Ann Livings to Emily Poundstone. Poundstone sets Olsey. She tips it over the block, set up by Wilson. Ball saved by Poundstone to Olsey in the middle, tips it over. Pushed over to Poundstone. Bailey Williams to Carson Ann Crow. Oh, nice play by Poundstone. Bailey Williams gets to the Poundstone. Carson Ann Crow punches it over the net. Blocked by Olsey. Olsey and Carson Ann Crow in the middle of the net. Point for Wilson. They tip the ball over our block and onto our court. Wilson now leads St. James 6-5. A nice volley play there by both teams. Ball served, played by Bailey Williams nicely to Emily Poundstone, sets up Carson Ann Crow. That's a kill on the left side for Crow. That's her 6th. Score is tied at 6-6. We're missing the ball. Ball girl runs and gets it. Alan Browning, number 8, back serving for St. James with the tie scores. St. James 6, Wilson 6. Nice floater serve. Push back set. Oh, it's blocked by Carson Ann Crow, but the ball goes out. Point for Wilson. Carson Ann Crow had the big number 55 on a one-on-one block. In great position, but it went off the block and out of bounds. Point to Wilson, who now leads St. James 7-6. Floater serve short, hits the net, rolls over. That's an ace for Wilson, who extends their lead over St. James to 8-6. Played up by Liz Ann Livings to Bailey Williams, gets the ball back over. Ball played, ball misplayed by the St. James back row. Point to Wilson. Wilson now leads St. James in this second set, 9-6. Wilson serving to St. James. Short serve into the net. That's a service error. Thank you. St. James gets a point. Still trails Wilson 9-7. As number 16, Emily Olsey, goes back to serve for the Trojans. Nice floater serve. Oh, that's an ace by Olsey. That's her first ace of this match. St. James trails by 1 point. Wilson 9-8. Olsey hammers it back in the back left corner. Roll ball by Wilson, set up by Bailey Williams to Carson Ann Crow. Wilson gets the ball up. Back row attack. That ball's out. Attack error by Wilson evens the score at 9. St. James 9, Wilson 9. Olsey 16, still back serving for St. James. Nice floater. Oh, off her face. That ball floated up and hit her in the face. That's an ace by Olsey. That's her second. St. James takes the lead 10-9. Like catching a knuckleball with your face. Olsey still serving for St. James. Puts a little heat on this one. That's another ace by Olsey. That's her third ace. Just mixing it up today. It'll give, little take, little heat, little change. St. James up over Wilson now, 11-9. Olsey still serving. Another strong serve. Ball's gotten up by Wilson. Roll shot played by Olsey. Browning comes in to set it up for Carson Ann Crow. Pass roll shot over the blocker. Ball played by Liz Ann Livings. Olsey sets it up for Carson Ann Crow. Tips it again. Bailey Williams. Tip it over the net. Bailey Williams will make you pay for it. That's a kill by Bailey Williams. That's her fourth. Overpass by Wilson sets up the Trojans for a nice kill. Score now 12-9. Olsey serving. Oh. Service error into the net. That gives Wilson their 10th point. Wilson still trailing St. James 12-10. Wilson serves the ball into the net. Nice, thank you. That gives St. James a side out and a point. St. James leading Wilson now 13-10. Carson Ann Crow, number 13, goes back to serve for St. James. Carson Ann Crow floats it into the middle of the Wilson defense. They set up their attack. Ball picked up nicely by Crow. Olsey over to Livings. Livings with a nice attack that's gotten up by Wilson. Oh, go get it. Oh. Nice try by Liz Ann Livings to get the ball up over an attack. Point goes to Wilson. St. James leading Wilson now 13-11. Good hustle defense there by the Trojans. Ball comes in, played by Allen Browning. Ball's out for Wilson. St. James now only holding on to a 1-point lead. St. James leading Wilson 13-12. Ball floats in, played by Carson and Crow. Set to Olsey. Ashley White. Ashley White with a kill. That's her third kill. Very well played, very well set up. St. James now leading Wilson 14-12 with Bailey Williams, number 14, serving for the Trojans. Nice floater serve to the back row. Nicely dug up by Carson and Crow. Tip over the defense by Liz Ann Livings. Liz Ann Livings with a kill. Set up nicely by Olsey. Score now St. James 15, Wilson 12. Bailey Williams now continuing to serve for St. James. Knuckle ball back to the back left. She back sets. Tip. Kathleen Wright at the net. Sends it back over. Ashley White with a block. Ashley White, Kathleen Wright with a block over there on the right side. Point to St. James. St. James leading Wilson now 16-12. Bailey Williams still serving for St. James. Nice floater serve to the middle of the Wilson defense. Back set for a roll shot played by Bailey Williams to Olsey. Kathleen Wright with an attack in the middle. Wilson gets it up. Ball played by Olsey. Bailey Williams comes in to set it up for Liz Ann Livings. It bangs it off the block. That's a kill for Liz Ann Livings. That's her fifth. Point for St. James. St. James now leading 17-12. Bailey Williams still serving. She's on a roll. Floater serve to the back. Misplayed. That's an ace. Ace Bailey Williams. That's her second. Point for St. James. St. James leading Wilson now 18-12. Nice serve, just barely over the net. Wilson sets up their defense. Ooh, nice hit. Nice hit down the line. That's a kill for their attacker. Side out to Wilson. St. James leading Wilson now 18-13. We had our block up there and she hit it down the line. Wilson serves it in to Bailey Williams, plays it to Olsey. Olsey sets it up for Liz Ann Livings. Up by Carson and Crow. Ball goes over the net. They tip it over. St. James hits the ball out. Point to Wilson. The score now, St. James 18, Wilson 14. Ball served Carson and Crow. Played by Emily Olsey. Over to Ashley White for the kill. That's Ashley White's fourth kill. Nicely set up by Olsey. Point St. James, we got a side out. Emily Poundstone comes in, substitute for Ashley White. Poundstone to be serving for St. James. It's up 19-14. Poundstone serves it into the middle of the Wilson defense. Wilson sets it up, they tip it over the block. Our blockers can't get the ball back up and over the net. That's a point to Wilson. Side out. St. James leading Wilson 19-15. Ball serve played by Emily Olsey to Poundstone. Kathleen Wright in the middle. That's a kill. Kathleen Wright, her third kill. Score now, St. James 20, Wilson 15. Liz Ann Livings now serving for St. James. Nice floater serve to the back right. Scramble mode by Wilson. Free ball to Bailey Williams, sets it up to Poundstone. A double hit, Carson and Crow. That was a carry, they didn't call it. That's 4 hits. Bailey Williams serves it, gets it to Poundstone. Olsey hammers the ball down. Emily Olsey's third kill gives St. James a 21-15 lead. Referees missed a 4-hit call, but that's okay. We got the point anyway. Lizanne Livings now serving with St. James leading 21-15. Tipped over. Tried to play by Poundstone. Bailey Williams with a nice hustle play, but couldn't get the ball back up. Point goes to Wilson. St. James leading Wilson now 21-16. Ball served in, played by Lizanne Livings. Emily Poundstone over to Carson Ann Crow. Oh, that's a miss hit. Ball goes out. Point to Wilson. St. James holding on to a 21-17 point lead. Wilson serving to St. James. Ball comes in. Misplayed by server Steve. Gives a point to Wilson. 3-point lead now for St. James. It leads Wilson 21-18. St. James got to do some regrouping here. Ball comes in to Bailey Williams. Over to Emily Poundstone that sets up Carson Ann Crow. And she bangs it into the block and off a Wilson defender's head. That's a kill for Carson Ann Crow. That's her 7th. Score now. St. James 22. Wilson 18. Alan Browning serves to the back row of Wilson. Back set to their big hitters. Blocked by Carson Ann Crow. Ball's out. Carson Ann Crow with a block. On the left side, point to St. James. St. James 23, Wilson 18. Alan Browning for St. James serving. Floater serve short to the right side. Back set to their big hitter. Oh. St. James punches at it, but the ball goes off and out. Point to Wilson. St. James leads Wilson now 23-19. Wilson serving to St. James. A floater serve played up by Emily Olsey, set by Poundstone. Carson Ann Crow with an attack in the middle, and that's a kill. 8 kill for Carson Ann Crow. Point for St. James. This is set point. Set point, match point. Emily Olsey serving for the set and the match. Puts on the heat. Tipped over, played by Browning. Emily Olsey sets up Carson Ann Crow on the left side. She rolls it over the net for a kill. Olsey to Carson Ann Crow. Final score of the second set, 25-19. St. James defeated Wilson 25-7, 25-19. We'll see who we play next.